You may remember a hoax from a few years ago regarding a 160-foot giant squid that washed up on the beach in California. That story seemed fishy from the get-go, but have we got an actual whale of a story for you? The ocean is teeming with massive sea creatures, so many of which we never get a chance to see. However, once in a while, one makes a rare appearance on a beach, and we can't help but marvel at the enormous creature before us. Get your beach blanket ready for the 10 largest animals found on shore. Wait, I think I see a creature right now. It's not that big, but it's red and it says subscribe on it. Better do what you always do when you encounter the unknown and try poking it, just to be safe. Whale shark. The best is a subjective term, but we have definitely saved the biggest for last. Whale sharks are the largest fish in the sea, reaching an astonishing 42 feet long. Thankfully for us, they don't find humans a very tasty snack and prefer to eat plankton. In fact, they're known to be quite docile, and even let swimmers hitch a ride on occasion. A 42-foot-long whale shark was found washed up on a beach in India in 2016. It was so large that it surpassed the Guinness Book of World Records' largest whale shark on record by half an inch. It measured 28 feet in width and weighed in at 21 tons. How it ended up on the beach is unknown, but based on external injuries, it appears that it may have passed away before being brought up on shore by the current. Basking shark. Basking sharks are the second largest fish in the sea, and they don't spend their time basking in the sun. It's very unusual to see them in shallow water, as they prefer the deep sea. However, in 2015, one ended up on the main shoreline, and despite a valiant effort from beachgoers, it sadly passed away. This basking shark was 30 feet long, almost reaching the maximum length of a basking shark, which is 32 feet. Although these sharks are enormous in size, they're not a threat to humans as they feed on plankton. They filter ocean water through their gill slits in order to feed. They're very distinctive looking with their conical snouts and oversized dorsal and pectoral fins, which can be as long as 6.5 feet. New Zealand monster. It looks like the giant version of something you'd see in an episode of The Walking Dead. This terrifying 30-foot-long creature was found on a beach in New Zealand. We can definitely see why people would think it's a sea monster when staring into its gaping maw lined with razor-sharp teeth. Theories ran wild regarding what this mysterious creature could be. An oversized moray eel? A saltwater crocodile? Marine mammal expert Antijn van Helden believes that the carcass is the remains of a killer whale. Sadly, stranded orcas aren't terribly uncommon, as they frequently chase prey into shallow waters, which can sometimes leave them stranded. We aren't sure how this one met its end because it's too deteriorated. Hopefully the knowledge that it isn't a 30-foot sea monster is enough. Mega-mouthed shark. In 2015, locals in the Philippines discovered the body of a huge creature they later learned was all shark, but no bite. This 15-foot-long animal is a mega-mouthed shark. It's so rare that it's estimated only 60 of them have ever been encountered by humans in any capacity. And they weren't discovered until 1976. These giant predators wouldn't be much of a threat to humans even if we did encounter them regularly. They're filter feeders just like whale sharks. They swim around with their big goofy mouths open and hope some plankton and jellyfish will end up inside. Their mouths are reflective and lined with a bioluminescent patch which may lure prey into their mega mouths. Jellyfish. If you're looking for a massive quantity of slimy, booger-like substances, of course a child is going to be the one to find the giant loogie. 12-year-old Xavier Leem spotted this one on a beach in Tasmania. It's 5 feet in diameter and is a jellyfish species that has not yet been identified by scientists. Dr. Lisa Ann Gershwin calls it a truly magnificent animal and describes it as a dinner plate with a mop hanging underneath. A mop with a dinner plate floating on top doesn't sound magnificent, but we are scientists, so what do we know? This beach booger is one of 3 different species of lion's mane jellyfish found in Tasmania. Jellyfish populations in Tasmania have been increasing for an unknown reason, and this specimen was one that had been spotted in the wild, but never captured. Dr. Gershwin is currently working to classify and name this giant jelly. Hairy mystery blob. No, we aren't talking about the one you pulled out of your shower drain this morning. This hairy mystery blob was found on a beach in the Philippines in February 2017. It's about 20 feet long and weighs a whopping 4,000 pounds. Imaginations ran wild when it was found, with people theorizing that it was everything from Apo from Avatar to a whale-polar bear hybrid. We could do a whole nother video on why a whale-polar bear hybrid isn't going to happen. And it turns out there's a much simpler explanation. What appears to be long, shaggy white hair is actually decomposing muscle fibers. The creature is too deteriorated to tell exactly what it is, but scientists believe it is some kind of whale based on its size. Sperm whales. Sperm whales can grow up to 59 feet in length. And while they aren't the largest whales, they have the largest brains of any creature on Earth. They get their name from the substance called spermaceti, which is found inside their protruding heads. Sound kind of like a pasta, but not one would want to eat, even though scientists have confirmed that it's not actually sperm. In fact, they don't know what it is, but they suspect it may help them alter the buoyancy when diving. In 2016, 13 sperm whales washed up on a beach in Germany. These massive beasts shocked beachgoers, but what was inside them was even more surprising. Sperm whales are so much like us that even their large brains can't convince them to stop eating garbage. Among the items found in their stomachs were a 43-foot-long fishing net, a plastic car engine cover, and a bucket. Shockingly, being full of plastic and car parts isn't what caused them to become stranded. The Crapsies revealed that these whales suffered from heart attacks. Scientists believe this occurred when they swam into shallow waters and could not support their own body weight. Giant oarfish. Another creature rising from the darkest depths of the ocean. The giant oarfish is the world's largest bony fish, with the largest confirmed being 36 feet long, and unconfirmed reports of them reaching 56 feet. Like the giant squid, they spend most of their time in the ocean depths, so they are very rarely seen by humans. They're called oarfish because of their long pectoral fins, which resemble oars if you squint hard enough. In 2015, a giant oarfish washed ashore on Catalina Island. It measured over 15 feet long when it was found, but scientists say it was likely closer to 24 feet long when it was alive, and should have weighed up to 200 pounds. The specimen lost some height when it lost its tail, which oarfish occasionally do in order to shed weight and preserve energy. Giant squid. The aptly named giant squid is often elusive to scientists because it lives in the deepest parts of the ocean. Not only are they the largest invertebrates, their eyes are also enormous and are roughly the size of a human head. They're incredibly difficult to study, and almost all we know of them is the result of squids that have been captured by fishermen or washed up on shore. It wasn't until 2004 that we even had any video footage of a live giant squid. In 2013, a giant squid washed ashore at La Arena Beach in the Spanish community of Cantabria. This species of squid is called Architeuthis dux, and scientists estimate that it can grow up to 43 feet long. This particular cephalopod measured 30 feet long and weighed an astonishing 400 pounds. The squid was in surprisingly good condition and was moved to the Maritime Museum of Cantabria for further study. Blue whales. Blue whales are the largest animal ever known to exist on Earth. These massive marine mammals can grow up to 100 feet long and can weigh 200 tons. They are endangered, so it's especially tragic when one washes up on shore, such as when 9 of them were found on beaches of various coastal communities in Newfoundland in 2014. It's suspected that they got caught in ice and were crushed to death before their bodies floated to shore. As you can imagine, cleaning up the carcass of these blue behemoths is no easy task. When we suffer the loss of a beloved goldfish, we can just flush the remains down the toilet. One of the blue whales, named Blue, presumably by a 2-year-old who just finished flushing his first pet, was prepared for display in various museums. It took 10 people 5 days to cut her skeleton out, and it took 2 18-wheelers to transport the bones. Perhaps the worst part of this dirty job is the smell. Researcher Mark Engstrom describes it as a permeating, oily smell that's as much a taste as a smell. The silver lining of this tragedy is that the DNA from the whales may help researchers learn more about these majestic creatures. What's the strangest thing you've ever found washed up on the shore? And which of these creatures would you least enjoy running into while swimming in open waters? These large animals were certainly a big surprise to the people who discovered them. You can make your very own sizable discoveries by watching videos. Subscribe to keep up to date on current events happening in our oceans. Thanks for watching, and I'm sure I'll see you again next time.